Good evening and welcome to our Friday evening walk through the Word with the Cross Crusaders. We are starting a new book this evening. This is Pastor Lew Burns from Abundant Life Baptist Church in Naugatuck, Connecticut, and we will be in the book of Numbers. Chapters 1 and 2 this evening. And it's aptly named, especially in these particular chapters, because God is giving some very specific direction and order unto Moses here in the beginning of the book of Numbers. So in Numbers chapter 1 and verse 1, and the Lord spake unto Moses in the wilderness of Sinai, in the tabernacle of the congregation on the first day of the second month, in the second year after they were come out of the land of Egypt, saying. So, first of all, we're setting, just to set this, this is in the second year. The tabernacle is made, the tabernacle is there. As we saw in Exodus, its construction, how it was put together. This is the second year of their journey through the wilderness. They had come, God had brought them in a mighty way out of Egypt, and now he is preparing them. He is giving order to their journeys, as you will see. But here, Moses is not up on the mount. He is in the tabernacle of meeting, and he's gaining the word of the Lord, going the order in which things will be done. And God says to Moses in verse 2, take ye the sum of all the congregation of the children of Israel after their families by the house of their fathers, with the number of their names, every male by their polls. Every male, specifically the numbers. And verse 3 rather, from 20 years old and upward, all that are able to go forth to war in Israel, thou and Aaron shall number them by their armies. So their tribes, the 12 tribes, they're going to be numbered, everyone 20 years old, every male. But specifically, every male 20 years old and over that is able to go forth to war, was able to go into the promised land and go to battle, was able to do the business of war, driving out the people in the land of Canaan before the peoples of Israel. From 20 years old and upward. Now make note, for future reference, that these people, these males, 20 years old and upward, these are not those who are going to go in to the land of Canaan and possess the promised land. But these are those who are able to go to war at this time, during this journey. If we see in verse 3, we will see this phrasing repeated in verses 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, and 45. In each of these verses, we will see the same phrasing regarding those males 20 years old and upward. Specifically, all those that are able to go forth and make war. The youngsters are not included. The children, the young males. And God is being more specific here as we go on to verse 4. And with you there shall be a man of every tribe, every one head of the house of his fathers. So as you're naming each of these groups of individuals, as you are moving forward as God, he's naming the leader chosen in each tribe that to be the head of the tribe of that house in Israel. And specifically, God names the names. Now, we've seen God name names before. When we were in Exodus, he spoke of the men that he was going to give the talent to do the work and to teach the work of constructing the tabernacle, doing the craftsmanship in gold and silver and brass, and the fine needlework, the fine embroidery. All of this, he named the people who were going to do it and going to teach it, that he was going to give the special, he was going to give the special wisdom, discernment through his spirit. He was going to imbue them with special talent. And here he's chosen the leader, a leader from each tribe, starting with the tribe of Reuben in verse 5. And these are the names of the men that shall stand with you. Of the tribe of Reuben, Eliezer, the son of Shedeur. Of Simeon, Shelumiel, the son of Zurishadai. Of Judah, Nahshon, the son of Abinadab. Of Issachar, Nathaniel, the son of Zuar. Of Zebulun, Eliab, the son of Helon. Of the children of Joseph, of Ephraim, Elishama, son of Ammihud. Of Manasseh, Gamaliel, son of Pedahizur. Of Benjamin, Abidan, the son of Gibeoni. Of Dan, Ahiezer, son of Aminadabi. Of Asher, Pagiel, the son of Ochran. Of Gad, Elisaph, the son of Duel. Of Naphtali, Ahira, the son of Enan. God names these men to Moses. And so these were the renowned of the congregation, princes of the tribes of their fathers, heads of thousands in Israel. God is recognizing these men as the men who would lead their tribe during this time. To lead their tribe, to stand with Moses, to defend Israel. And Moses and Aaron took these men which are expressed by their names. Notice God didn't choose them. Moses didn't choose them, rather. Aaron didn't choose them. God chose them. The people knew each of them. They had they had recognition of the tribes of Israel, but God chose them specifically by name. He named them. And so Moses and Aaron took them, and they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names from 20 years old and upward, by their polls. Okay. Each man, each family had to know their pedigree, if you will, their ancestry, who their mother and their father and their mother's mother and their father's mother and father, especially in the male lineage. You needed to know who you were of the tribes of Israel. You needed to know and be able to say, okay, this was my father and my father's father and my father's father before him. Tracing back. Remember, they had been 430 years in Egypt, and they needed to trace back to Israel. They needed to trace back to Jacob and Isaac and Abraham. By the house of their fathers. Okay, I am of the house of Benjamin. I am the house of Judah. I am the house of Simeon. This was not an easy process. But God had commanded it, and he commanded it for a reason that will be shown as we move forward. And the Lord as the Lord commanded Moses, so he numbered them in the wilderness of Sinai. And the children of Reuben, Israel's eldest son, by their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names by their polls, every male from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war. And here he says, those that were in verse 21, those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Reuben, were 46,500. And God here for each tribe of Simeon, verse 22, those that were numbered in verse 23 of them, even of the tribe of Simeon, were 59,300. Of the children of Gad, those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Gad, were 45,650. God is giving Moses specific instruction, specific numbers, and you will see as we move along how they will be placed to be used, how they will be encamped, how they will be placed as Israel, as a people, move forward toward the promised land in their wanderings in the wilderness. Those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Gad, were 45,650 of the children of Judah. Verse 27, those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Judah, were 314,600. That's 74,600. Judah. So far, that's the largest number. Of the children of Issachar, by their generations after their families. Verse 29, those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Issachar, were 50,004,400. Verse 31, of those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Zebulun, were 57,400. Each tribe was numbered. Each tribe had a leader assigned by God, recognized, but assigned, named right from God in the tabernacle to Moses and Aaron. Verse 32 and 33, of the children of Joseph, namely of the children of Ephraim. Okay, remember, Joseph was split into two tribes, Ephraim and Manasseh. So Ephraim, verse 33, those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Ephraim, were 40,500. Verse 34, of the children of Manasseh. Verse 35, those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Manasseh, were 32,200. The children of Benjamin, verse 37, those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Benjamin, were 35,400. The children of Dan, verse 39, those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Dan, were 62,700. Verse 40, of the children of Asher, verse 41, those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Asher, were 41,500. Of the children of Naphtali, those that were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Naphtali, were 53,400. Verse 44, these are those that were numbered, which Moses and Aaron numbered, and the princes of Israel, being 12 men, each one was for the house of his fathers. So God has arranged each house to have a leader reporting to Moses. Each house was responsible to that person named by God. The house, so we're, verse 45, so were all those that were numbered of the children of Israel by the house of their fathers from 20-year-old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war in Israel. Even all that they were numbered were 600,000 and 3,550. This is the sum total of all the men of age able to go and do the duties of a soldier, able to go to war against the enemies of Israel, against the enemies of God, that God may use in this task. 603,550 in total of the 12 tribes. Actually, the 10 tribes, the 2 half tribes. Because in verse 47, we see the purpose. We see God's exception. But the Levites, after the tribe of their fathers, were not numbered among them. For the Lord had spoken unto Moses, saying, only thou shalt not number the tribe of Levi, neither take the sum of them among the children of Israel. The tribe of Levi was for the service of the tabernacle, the service of God, and had no other. They were not going to war. They were not soldiers. They were a class of priests and servants unto God with a specific purpose to serving the Lord throughout the entire journey and beyond. They were appointed a different task, a spiritual task. Verse 50. But thou shalt appoint the Levites over the tabernacle of testimony, and over all the vessels thereof, and over all things that belong to it. They shall bear the tabernacle, and all the vessels thereof, and they shall minister unto it, and shall encamp round about the tabernacle. This is the entire tribe of the Levites are dedicated to the service of the tabernacle. And as Israel moves forward toward the promised land and even into the promised land, as they move, the Levites are the ones who are going to be responsible for each part of the tabernacle, each of the parts of the service of the tabernacle, the showbread, the altar, the table, the lamps, the tabernacle itself, the boards, the coverings, the veil, the ark. And when the Israelites are camped, when they have stopped, when they are going to make camp for a period of time, the Levites are going to be all around, encamped all around the tabernacle itself so that they can do their job. And no one else is coming to the tabernacle save Moses, Aaron, and the Levites. Verse 51. And when the tabernacle setteth forward, the Levites shall take it down. And when the tabernacle is to be pitched, the Levites shall set it up. Very specific. No, either, well, we can't get our cousin from Gad or from Judah or Naphtali. They are not responsible to do anything with the tabernacle. It's only the Levites. To the point, he says here in verse 51 at the end, and the stranger that cometh nigh shall be put to death. As you'll see, and the children of Israel shall pitch their tents, every man by his own camp, in verse 52, and every man by his own standard throughout their hosts. As we'll see in chapter 2, there is much that God has set in order, in a specific order, for specific reasons. Every man by his own standard throughout their host. But the Levites shall pitch round about the tabernacle of testimony, that there be no wrath upon the congregation of the children of Israel. And the Levites shall keep the charge of the tabernacle of testimony. The Levites are going to be on all sides encamped around the tabernacle, keeping it in order as God commanded it to be put up, as God commands it to take down, following pillar of smoke, the pillar of fire, depending on when they're traveling. But the Levites are responsible for all that pertains to the tabernacle. All the rest of Israel is responsible for the order. They are to be set in order. They are to be encamped in order. God has set it out specifically in a specific way. Verse 54, and the children of Israel did according to all that the Lord commanded Moses, so did they. At this time, they were listening to everything that God commanded regarding the numbering, regarding the order of movement, the order of encampment. And here is the order of the encampment. This is what we find in chapter 2. And the Lord spake unto Moses, unto Aaron, saying, every man of the children of Israel shall pitch by his own standard with the ensign of their father's house, far off, about the tabernacle of the congregation shall they pitch. They're not to be close by. Only the Levites are to be close by to the tabernacle because it is their responsibility to care for it. And God is setting it up. Each tribe has a place in the camp of Israel. They each have their own specific areas where they are to be settled when they are in camp. And God has set it out and given the command to Moses and to Aaron. Far off about the tabernacle. So here on the east side, verse 3, toward the rising of the sun shall they of the standard of the camp of Judah pitch throughout their armies, and Nahshon, the son of Abinadab, shall be captain of the children of Judah. Shall be captain. Again, speaking of an army, speaking of able to go to war, and who is in the front. Remember how I remarked Judah. Now these hosts, he is going to be on the east side. And his host and those that were numbered of them were 314,600. He has the most men. He's going to be on the east side of the tabernacle. As we'll see yet more in verse 9. And those that do pitch next to him shall be the tribe of Issachar, and Nethaneel, the son of Zuar, shall be captain of the children of Issachar, and his host, and those that were numbered thereof were 54,400. Then the tribe of Zebulun, and Eliab, the son of Helon, shall be captain of the children of Zebulun, and his host, and those that were numbered thereof were 57,400. Verse 9, all that were numbered in the camp of Judah were 100,000 and 80,000 and 6,400 throughout their armies. These shall first set forth. Note the number here. Note the tribes that are on the east side, and note that when they travel, God has set forth an order of their travel. In the beginning of the travel, in the beginning of all the tribes of Israel at the head, these shall be at the head of the armies of Israel. In modern terms, Judah, the tribe of Judah is taking point. They're going first behind God's leading, obviously. But they will be the first in line. On the south side shall be the standard of the camp of Reuben according to their armies, and the captain of the children of Reuben shall be Eliezer, the son of Shedder. And his host, those who were numbered thereover, 46,500. And those which pitch by him shall be the tribe of Simeon, and the captain of the children of Simeon shall be Shelumiel, the son of Zurishadai. And his host, and those that were numbered of them, were 59,300. Then the tribe of Gad, and the captain of the sons of Gad shall be Elisaph, the son of Reuel. And his host, and those that were numbered of them, and 5,650. So now we have the east side set in front of the tabernacle. We have the south side set. All that were numbered in the camp of Reuben were 100,050 and 1,450. 151,450 throughout their armies. And they shall set forth in the second rank. So when all Israel moves in their journey, they will be in the second rank. Then the tabernacle of the congregation shall set forward with the camp of the Levites in the midst of the camp, as they encamp. So shall they set forward every man in his place by their standards. So we've got the east, we've got the south, you've got the Levites in the midst. And on the west side shall be the standard of the camp of Ephraim according to their armies, and the captain of the sons of Ephraim shall be Elishama, the son of Ammihud. And his host, and those that were numbered of them, were 40,500. And by him shall be the tribe of Manasseh, and the captain of the children of Manasseh shall be Gamaliel, the son of Pedazur. And his host, and those that were numbered of them, were 32,200. Then the tribe of Benjamin, and the captain of the sons of Benjamin shall be Abidan, the son of Gideoni. And his host, and those that were numbered of them, were 35,400. All that were numbered of the camp of Ephraim were 100,000 and 8,000 and 100 throughout their armies, and they shall go forward in the third rank. Whenever they move, 3 tribes, the second 3 tribes, the tabernacle, the third 3 tribes that will be on the west, the east, the south, the west. And here, the standard of the camp of Dan in verse 25 shall be on the north side of them by their armies. And the captain of the children of Dan shall be Ahiezer, the son of Ammishaddai. And his host, and those that were numbered of them, were 62,700. And those that encamp by him shall be the tribe of Asher, and the captain of the children of Asher shall be Pagiel the son of Akran, and his host, and those that were numbered of them were 40,001,500. Then the tribe of Naphtali, and the captain of the children of Naphtali shall be Ahira the son of Enan, and his host, and those that were numbered of them were 53,400. All they that were numbered in the camp of Dan were 100,050 and 7,600. They shall go hindmost with their standards. God has set forth in complete order both where each tribe shall camp, and when all Israel moves, where they shall be in the line of movement. These are those which are numbered of the children of Israel by the house of their fathers, all those that were numbered of the camps throughout their host were 600,000 and 3,550. Each has a place. Each has an area specifically assigned in the encampment. Wherever God says to camp, all right, these three tribes go forth to the east, these three to the south, these three to the west, these three to the north. Spread out away from the tabernacle, the Levites in the center, the tabernacle in the center. All the children of Israel did as they were commanded. Now, here's the application. The Levites were to be the closest to the tabernacle. But let's take a look at where the tabernacle was and how God had it set up. The tabernacle of the tent of meeting, the tabernacle with the mercy seat, the tabernacle with the Ark of the Covenant, with the altar, the table of showbread, the lamps, the candlesticks. All of this, where God was, let's make this point very, where was God supposed to be in Israel? In the center. And just as God's tabernacle in those days were in the center of all the tribes of Israel, set round about, before, beside, behind, even as they moved forward, as they were led. But where it was in the center. I say, well, that's all well and good, and that's nice. And why is that important for us to know as Christians as we read the scripture? And I'm going to tell you why. Because take this as the tabernacle, as God's place among the tribes of Israel was central. God's place to the Christian, God's place to us should be central to our lives, central to all that we do. Not behind, not off to the side. I can't tell you how much disaster I've seen when God's will, God's teaching God's instruction has been cast to the side or behind. No, God needs to be our focus. God needs to be the center of our life. Jesus Christ needs to be the central thing in our existence, in our lives. Not put aside. We use the word preeminent, in the very first place in our lives. Remember, we're talking God, creator of the universe, and his son, Jesus Christ, also fully God, fully man, but the Savior of your soul. He took the punishment for your sins and mine. Without him, we have nothing. With him, we have everything. All things are possible. All things. He only wanted good things for us. Even when we were studying back in Genesis, what was the first thing? God did not want man to know good and evil. He just wanted them to have good in the Garden of Eden. It was man's disobedience that put us in the situation we are even today. As the world goes about and does all these things that it does, the wars, the rumors of wars, the murders, all the unspeakable things that happen, that God spoke against, it is not for us to know the evil except to avoid it. Christ in John 17 said, he prayed to the Father. I pray you, I do not pray, I pray not that you take them out of the world, but keep them from the evil. Don't fall into that trap of seeking evil. Seek only the good. Seek only that which is right and perfect, and hold fast to that. Keep that central. As the tabernacle was to be central, as God was to be central unto Israel in their journeys toward the promised land. Note the ages of those that were numbered, and note the ages of those who actually entered the promised land, save two, Joshua and Caleb. I leave you with that thought for this evening. They set forward. Verse 32, and the children of Israel did according to all that the Lord commanded Moses. So they pitched by their standards, and so they set forward, everyone after their families, according to the house of their fathers. I hope this was a blessing to everyone, and I thank you and bid you good night.